Now at 6, frustration mounts as a search for a pair of Conway killers continues without answers.
It is not possible that somebody in this community does not know who that car belongs to.
The new developments we've learned today and the rumors officers were shooting down.
WMBF News at 6 starts right now.
Live, local, now. WMBF starts with breaking news.
We continue to follow breaking news tonight in the PD, where we now know the man who shot and killed 2 law enforcement officers will die in prison.
Our all-day live team coverage continues now in Florence, where our Ashley Bowles is breaking down this case and also telling us what a judge decided this afternoon.
We're following breaking news now at 5 of a shooting moments after a victory parade for the Kansas City Chiefs.
At less than 15 minutes ago, Kansas City officials gave us an update. The police chief says at least 1 person has died. They're working now to clear the areas around the crime scene. They don't know how many people were shot, but they say it could be between 10 and 15 people.
Yeah, still a very fluid situation there. The police chief saying she does not believe any of the victims were children. There are 2 people in custody right now. The mastermind behind a murder for hire plot will spend the rest of her life in prison.
Our Ali Espinosa joins us live outside the courthouse now, breaking down today's proceedings and also telling us how each side feels about them. Tell us more, Ali. This is something you don't see every day. A plane making an emergency landing on a highway. We are talking in the middle of the day.
Specifically on Highway 501 and the notoriously busy stretch of road near Carolina Forest Boulevard. Our Julia Richardson joins us now right near the spot where that emergency landing took place. So Julia, what do we know so far about how in the world this even happened?
Good afternoon, country music fans. We thank you for tuning in to your official TV partner of this year's CCMF. I'm Eric Weisfeld.
And I'm Rachel Bogle. As you can hear behind us, the party is definitely getting started. Let's go ahead and get a live look right now over the festival grounds as those fans keep filing in here for day 2 of all the festivities.
And they are coming back with a vengeance. We're bringing you live team coverage this afternoon. Our reporters are really all over this venue. They're making sure you don't miss a single thing.
I think we can now confirm that Mother Nature, like a lot of these fans here, have been waiting a year for Morgan Wallen to come. So she's setting him up real good for a great night.
Really good.
Yes.
Morgan's debut in Myrtle Beach.
That's going to be a blast. But first, let's talk about tonight. We got to take another look at tonight's lineup. Before we get to Morgan Wallen, and the War and Treaty start at 6 o'clock. That is followed by Cameron Marlowe and Megan Maroney.
And there is actually more than just performers getting ready to do their thing here at CCMF. A very important group will also be putting on a bit of a performance of their own once the final act of the night leaves the stage and those lights go down. That's when nearly 30 cleaning crew members will come in and get to work. Last year, crews actually collected nearly 90 tons of trash during CCMF. And to put that in perspective, that's about 5 garbage trucks worth. No small feat.
There you go. She's got rhythm and she knows sports.
I know. Well, we already knew that Tegan is a natural-born performer, but people might not know that you are, too. I've actually been trying to get you in at some point to teach you the Austin TikTok dance. That is my mission by the end of this. So maybe if I go get the CCMF crew dancers, maybe they can help me out.
And this is where we move on. As you make your way downtown.
Get ready for a nice stretch of weather.
Oh, my yellow. Bring it on in. Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold shares the first alert to the beginning of a tranquil end to the week.
Yeah, our own little ray of sunshine being joined by the real sunshine.
We're getting our first look at some of the devastation left behind from yesterday's powerful coastal storm.
Yeah, that system brought heavy rain, strong winds, and at least 1 confirmed tornado ripping through neighborhoods and leaving some locals with massive damage bills. There is a lot of work still to be done following yesterday's destructive storm.
And tonight we're going to bring you live team coverage across Horry and Georgetown counties as crews assess the damage left behind and also come up with a plan to move forward.
But first, we want to get over to Chief Meteorologist Jamie Arnold, who's giving us an in-depth analysis of just how intense and unusual that storm was.
Had it come in exactly at high tide, we would have seen a water level similar to Hurricane Matthew.
By the skin of our teeth,
it was
right?
tropical storm light conditions, but
was.
really it's just proof that it doesn't have to be a tropical storm or a hurricane to get that type of
You don't need a name to cause big problems.
Yeah.
That's right. Speaking of big problems, our live team coverage continues tonight in Socastee, where a confirmed tornado did some of the worst damage the Grand Strand saw yesterday.
That is where our Ali Espinosa joins us live to give us a better look at that damage and also to break down A scary close call for some neighbors, Allie. Check this out. History was made at the Fort Wayne Comet hockey game in Indiana over the weekend. Usual broadcaster has lost his voice, so a 19-year-old woman stepped in, just took that mic.
You know, when you need to get somebody to do it, call a woman. In doing so, she became the first female to call a game in the team's 72-year history.
I'm just going to wait and see if one of you going to talk.
I mean, it says you.
It says you.
It says you're supposed to talk right now.
All right, I will. Still time to enjoy the current clear and warm conditions.
But Jamie,
already checked out.
He's clearly ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
So hopefully he
Just
soaks
trying to
it
be
up
polite.
because the window for this nice stretch of weather will be closing before long.
But we have
The window on his brain is already closed.
All right, let me just take over here.
Please,
Since Eric's already quit for the weekend.
Starting today, you can enter a lottery for a chance to set sail aboard the USS Constitution.
Listen, nothing says America like hanging out on the world's oldest Navy warship. So this lottery is going to select 150 people at random to join the crew as they set sail in the Boston Harbor. Well, this evening we have teams all across the state closely following today's GOP primary.
That includes live reporters in Columbia and Charleston following Donald Trump and Nikki Haley.
Donald Trump is the projected winner for the South Carolina GOP primary.
The Associated Press, in fact, called that race within just minutes of polls closing. The Republican presidential primary began January 15th with the Iowa caucuses, followed by New Hampshire and Nevada.
And of course, ours here in South Carolina was today, but there are still a handful of states set to cast ballots before Super Tuesday, meaning there's still a lot of delegates at stake. While we're waiting for Nikki Haley to take the stage, we do want to continue our conversation here with Justin Vaughn, our political analyst. And I had a question here. Her campaign team hasn't really been able to pinpoint or will not come out and say any particular states that they are confident that she can win. Is it looking like any states would be more promising to her at this point from the data that you've seen so far?
I wouldn't think so. I would think that if any state was promising, it would have been this state, South Carolina.
Do you think, obviously, Donald Trump is a very polarizing candidate. I mean, you either love him or you don't love him.
Right, there's no in between.
What do you think is the reason why he is faring so well at this point? Do you think it's because she is new? Do you think it's because she is young? Because Donald Trump has a previous track record? I mean, what do you think is the reason why the AP is calling it so early?
Joe Biden's 81 years old. I mean, just doing math, another 4 years takes him to 85. So there has been quite a bit of conversation on the other side of the aisle lately about, you know, if he, God forbid something were to happen to him and he had to step back, or he just decided, you know what, after all, I can't do this. What would happen then? You know, how would the next person be selected? Would it automatically be Kamala Harris, do you think? Or what's going to happen within that Democratic convention? How would all of that transpire in that hypothetical situation?
Well,
So you really think it's going to happen?
I think it's realistic that it could happen. Governor DeSantis of Florida, who...
Which, was that a bit surprising, do you think? Because, you know, he did have some pretty strong words, you know, when he was still in the race himself. I mean, but some more than others.
Sure.
You know, specifically, you know, DeSantis, Nikki Haley had stronger words than, you know, say, you know, a Vivek Ramaswamy did. It's certainly a Tim Scott. If you could only have one app on your phone, what would it be?
And we expect every single one of you to say the WMBF News or weather app. We'll take either one.
I knew that somebody was going to want to be the golden child.
You got to stay informed, right?
But we have to be real, too.
Right,
Yeah,
so
because-
taking those two out.
Yeah, taking which everyone should always say. I really would say Facebook, because that's the only one where I have people from like high school, like growing up, you know, family members, like that's the only one that all of those folks are on that I can really keep in touch with them, because all my like older relatives, they don't know how to work Instagram.
I was going to say my bank app, just so things are, make sure I'm not floating in.
You're going to check those coins is what he's always going to do.
All right, Jamie.
That's also a boring answer. I got to go with Facebook. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I got to go with Facebook. It's the cover-all of everything and everyone. Nice and easy, right there.
Where are your priorities? That's what we want.
Eric says if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Log on.
All right, you're going to want to check this out right meow. Cat weighing more than 40 pounds will soon have a new home. That's a thick boy.
Patches arrived at Richmond Animal Care and Control in Central Virginia, weighing, you're right, thick, a whopping 42 pounds.
He has his new family. He's already lost a few pounds in their care, going on a special diet and exercise plan. So he's on his road
It's
to
like a tiger.
getting slim
It's not
and
a cat
trim.
anymore. 42. You know, but sometimes I blame the parents. No table food.
Thick boys need love too, okay?
Well, Fortunately, Patches has a new home and on a little diet, so slimming down and
You're going to need a big diet.
Oh, yeah.